Well, good morning, everyone. This is Bob Singh from Smart Studio Circle and product manager for Circle RAM. Today, we're going to talk about the Studio Excellence Blueprint. We're going to talk about 14 areas for growth in 2026. And I wanted to schedule this with my team at the start before Thanksgiving. So over this long weekend, you guys can go in and deliberate your growth areas. So today is not a workshop. It is a fresh start. It's a new standard. It's the moment where we shift from reacting to fires to designing your studio's future. Today, I'm trying to share something wonderful, the Studio Excellence Blueprint, the same system we use for all of our studios. This is not theory. This is not guesswork. This is the operating system we live by. And I just want to share this with you all. Why? Because I am most proud of this work. So let's talk about why we are here. Studio owners are the hardest working people I've ever met. But effort without direction leads to frustration. Folks, where focus goes, energy flows. Well, if focus is scattered, energy gets wasted. If focus is aligned, energy becomes unstoppable. You guys feel it? Energy becomes unstoppable. So today is all about alignment. It's about bringing all the moving pieces of your studios into one clear blueprint so you can always know where you are, where you're going, and how to get there. Let me repeat that because it's important. You see, where focus goes, energy flows. So, wouldn't you want your 2026 year to be refined with having all the masterpieces of your studio in one clear blueprint? So, in the event description, I have laid out a workbook that you can use along with uh, today's recording if you watch it later. And those of you who are in live attendance can go into the event on Smart Circle, Smart Studio Circle, and download it. So as you go through the recording, you can in each area figure out where you are, where you're going, and how to get there. So you're walking away with today with clarity of the 14 areas that determine your studio success. You also have a personalized scorecard for your studio. And then it's important, and if you need assistance on this, we are happy to help you. A quarter by quarter roadmap for your growth. You should have clear idea about how many students you want growth for. Can I share a little anecdote? Back in, I think it was September of 2019, I wrote a check to myself for a certain amount. And that I just took the check and I put it in my pocket. It lived in my wallet. And after about 2 years and 9 months, I had enough funds in the account to go cash the check. You see, what you don't dream, you're not going to get. And universe is going to conspire to help you achieve your dreams. So do something. Take an action. and have a breakthrough shift from confusion to confidence. I want you to treat today as the beginning of your year 2026 transformation, because when clarity enters, stress leaves. So, what are the 14 growth areas? This is a very dense slide. I don't want you to read this. You know how it is, right? When I tell you not to read it, you are going to read it. These 14 areas work like pillars of a building. If one cracks, the whole system feels it. If all are strong, you get a studio that feels stable, predictable, and powerful. Think of these areas as your leadership dashboard. If you can see everything clearly, you can fix anything, improve anything, grow anything. But now it might feel overwhelming. Do I really need to work on all 14 of these? Heck no. Let's attack a few of these areas one at a time. But let's prioritize the ones that are most important. Look, enrollment and retention is the lifeline of your company, of your studio. And what I put last, owner wellness, I personally focus a lot on your identity, how to cope with stress. I love physics. In extreme negativity, I want to be extremely positive. You see, the way God placed me on this earth, He taught me to be positive. I'm an eternal optimist. Did I say that already? I'm an eternal optimist. So that's how the energy flows. That's how the electric current even flows, negative to positive. So if there is extreme negativity, you find positivity and go. Anyway, I'm not going to sit here and live on anecdotes, but let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. So I'm going to share a few things with you. I'm also going to create a workbook that you can, one workbook that is already there to download, but I'm also going to provide detailed guidance on the content, all the stuff I'm saying in this presentation. So let's focus on one at a time, shall we? So our first growth area, enrollment and retention. Let's start with the lifeblood of your studio, enrollment and retention. Most studios focus on getting new kids in, but the real power is in keeping them excited, connected, and continuing. So, great studios build systems like crystal clear trial process, follow up that feels like care, not pressure. You create retention rhythms, touch points around months 1, month 3, month 6, and clear conversation about progress. When you systemize retention, your studio stops leaking. It becomes stable, predictable, and strong. Think about it. If you retain 10 more dances per year, you reshape your finances, your energy, and your culture. So, the 4 things to jot down, which I'll also provide in my detailed notes later, you have to build systems like number 1, crystal clear trial process. Follow up that feels like care, not pressure. And then you want to create a retention rhythm. In our studios, we create touch points around month 1, month 3, month 6. And a lot of our programs are multi-year. So once people sign up, then unless the students graduate, then they become tutors and then so on. There's lots of good things happening. And you also want clear conversations about progress. And we use systems for that. But let's focus on this growth area, number one, because this is the lifeline of your dance studio. Let's look at growth area number two, programming and curriculum. You see, programs are the heart of your studio. Parents stay because they feel progress, and dancers stay because they feel purpose. So, great studios don't just teach classes, they build pathways, they map it out. There's an age by age expectation. I'm nobody to tell you what kids can do at the age of 3 to 6 to 9 to 11 and so on. You have to have signature programs with clear outcomes. And when you create those, this makes families trust you. It makes students believe that they are part of something meaningful. You see, dance is a way of creating an identity of a person that is strong and disciplined and can carry on with life. So I want to repeat, in this growth area, you want to have age by age expectation. Point number one. You want to map out year over year growth, not for your studio, for the dancers, for your students. You want to have signature programs that are clearly mentioned on your website. And you should provide clear student learning outcomes. Sorry, I might cough here. Give me a minute, guys. Apologies for that. Every time a dancer joins your studio, they're joining a journey. And your programming defines what that journey will feel like. Our next area is staffing and leadership. You see, your team is your studio's engine. And let me say this. You can't grow your studio if your staff doesn't grow with you. So excellent studios should have a hiring framework, a training system, leadership transparency, quarterly check-ins, clear expectations, and a shared mission. You see, I'm not providing this information to you ahead of time. And what I've learned is with note taking, some of these things will make it into your actionable items. So you want to create, I'll repeat each item that I want to go talk about in depth in writing later, I'll mention here twice. You want to have an excellent framework. So there are 6 things total in this. You want to have a great hiring framework, a training system. You want to have leadership transparency. You want to have quarterly check-ins. You want to have clear expectations and a shared vision. I think I'm doing you guys a little bit of a disservice because I did not share my screen. Haha, sorry. Things I forget. Not enough coffee this morning, people. So our leadership shift can change an entire staff culture instantly if we factor in those 6 things. Then we have our next growth area, parent communication. This is very important. And this is where in my former presentation, I'd mentioned systems you can get, right? You know, this is a silent killer or silent superpower. You see, when a parent feels that their child is making progress, not just in dance steps, that just happens to be the presentation part. But as you put your kids through training, my God, you create persona traits that you may not even know, right? Parents don't need perfect communication. They need predictable, clear, and calm communication. So, in our dance studios, what we do is we provide periodic feedback with touch points I mentioned earlier. We provide written communication, progress notes that teachers write for their students on a weekly basis. When communication is sloppy, parent feels the gap. Parent will feel the gap, and it'll be with stress. But when the communication is structured, they fill the gap with trust. Your goal is not to message more. Your goal is simply to message better. Your dance studio must have a good messaging capability. So you're building trust with parents. And I'll go a little bit forward and say doing periodic surveys. So you understand the need of parent and their students. And if you have adults, even more so, because you want to understand their needs and make sure you're accommodating and growing in your quarterly growth plan. In 2026, this workshop is just a starting point for planning your 2026. But when you make a roadmap, you want to have a continuous improvement. This is my favorite part. You see, when you know your vision and mission, and I've done a workshop on that you can find the presentation in one of the former events. You see, marketing becomes easy when the message is clear, and it's overwhelming when the message is random. Like for this Smart Studio Circle, we have planned 104 events for next year already. We're going to publish those list of events, and God willing, if health is good, every single event will be held with the same level of passion. So a strong marketing studio, you will have planned for the entire month. 5 things here, people, to write down. Plan your entire month. Know the message. And please speak directly to parents' emotion. And create simple systems. You don't need complicated software. No. You can just do it in your email if you have 50, 100, couple of hundred students. But if you have systems that can improve your productivity, well, that helps, because every bit of time you get back, right, you don't want to be overwhelmed with clerical work. But good marketing also shows your community credibility. I wouldn't just throw ads willy-nilly in social media. So you want visibility, because visibility creates opportunity and consistency creates results. So my mantra for marketing in my own studios and Smart Studio Circle is very simple. When I have something to say, I will say, and consistently. The studios that win aren't louder, they're just clear in their message. So don't have the anxiety of a lot of ads and messaging and all that. Just plan, think, connect with your own emotion, with your own purpose of your own dance studio, because that's what you're going to propagate to your audience, to your students. and message on that emotion. Your why is very important. And some of you will say, well, okay, what is your why? You know, I'm an author of a book called Finding Your Identity. You can find that book. I'm huge on identity. I'm huge on introspection and going inward for growth. Whenever I run into a problem in the outside world, I don't go outside chasing people where I may feel the problem from. That is my perception. So my growth has been, Bob Singh, go inside, figure out what's wrong. What can you do? And that has provided an opportunity for growth personally. And so when I go invest in studios and write these books or even run Smart Studio Circle, my intention is very simple. I want to expand on my work, my passion. Finding your identity is a journey. And as you find your identity, finding the identity of your students or helping them find theirs, it becomes a chain reaction. That's why. That's why I created Smart Studio Circle, so we can help thousands of students worldwide together. So there, I went off script a little bit. Haha. The next thing, branding. Branding is not your logo. Branding is the promise people believe you deliver every single time. So strong branding give parents confidence before they walk into your studio. So what is branding? You guys probably want to go back and watch the presentation on how to create your mission and vision, which aligns with your why. So to me, branding is equal to clarity plus consistency plus emotion. Those three things have to come out into your vision statement. And then from there, branding will influence your marketing. The kind of images you will select, the kind of logo you will create, the kind of messaging you will have for the different types of dance classes you have. You see, if your branding is aligned, I promise you, your messaging will become effortless. And if you need assistance in creating this, my time is yours. Happy to help. And then financial systems. This is not to have like a software system where you define the price, but have you done enough homework in defining the pricing? Are you overcharging? Are you undercharging? This is where studio owners unlock their peace of mind. You see, money tells a story. Your systems reveals whether it's a story of stress or a story of strength. And ask this one question. Ask this one question. If your product is priced a little bit higher than your competition, and you're providing a consistent value in your brand, does it justify? You see, that's where branding and marketing come together. Because once you have that defined clearly and what you are doing, you keep refining your vision and mission by looking at your competition continuously and stay abreast. And we'll do workshops on this down the road. We have, like I said, 104 workshops planned for 2026. This is the first one that you come into and create your growth plan for 2026. And folks, if you're already doing this, more power to you. But I hope that in the financial system pillar, you're looking at what's your pricing. Are you profitable? What are your forecasts? Do you have a cash flow rhythm? Because if you are looking in your checking account and money is missing, or cash is missing, should I say, you're not going to be able to scale. So you should know with pricing, profitability, forecasting, and cash flow rhythm, what months are slow? How do you augment those? Right? How can you build systems so you have a monthly cash flow? Subscriptions are a very healthy way of keeping continuous revenue coming in, because it's affordable for parents, it's affordable for students, and it's good for your cash flow. And there's no reason you can't give a little bit of discount as you go on. So studios with strong financial system don't just survive, they scale. And you want to run a studio that lets you sleep at night, not have stress. So, folks, this is my big why. I'm a techie also by trade. And technology and AI is the year where 2026 should be the year where you stop doing things manually. Please. I plead you. You should use AI systems to communicate faster. And there are 6 things here also I'm trying to share with you. You want to communicate faster, plan smarter, automate repetitive tasks, stay organized, make decisions with data, and save hours of effort every week. See, this is the main impetus for Smart Studio Circle, because artificial intelligence is the wave we are riding. Do you guys know my story? Owning dance studios, creating software for those, and we also sell that software with AI. There are a lot of software systems out there that are working for years, but we are AI first. So this isn't about replacing your leadership. You see, you have to work your leadership with AI. When we use AI in our studios every day, it has changed everything. And I suggest systems like ChatGPT are kind of becoming archaic. And you're like, really? It just came out 2.5 years ago, right? Yeah. I mean, look at Gemini, look at Grok, look at Anthropic. There are so many systems out there today. You have so many choices. And the software operating systems that your studios may be using will not have AI. So either you can run 10 disparate systems, or you can have one system that does it all. So AI removes overwhelm. And you want to automate for your sanity so you can teach more students. So, folks, I'm a student as far as dance goes. And if you ask my wife, I'm not the best dancer. So, well, she's still married to me for 31 years now. But anyway, but my intention here is that we focus on our own identity, why we are doing what we are doing. So when we help our audience, our customers. We can propagate things to them that we wish. You see, if you want to make $100 from a customer, you have to give them $1,000 worth of value. You're not going to make money otherwise. If anybody opened a dance studio to make money, wrong idea. You're a teacher at heart. You would teach dance even if you weren't paid. I know that. And when you're a teacher at heart and you create that value that is not measurable, your studio automatically makes money. So, operations. This is your backbone. I don't know if you guys are realizing in my presentation, I'm literally treating your dance studio as a body. We found the heart, we found the lifeline blood systems, and so on. Operations is your backbone. So there are 4 things I want to share with you here. You want to have checklists. You want to have standard operating procedures. I mean, a simple thing like cleaning the bathroom 3 times a day. Having a log in the bathroom, which staff member cleaned it. Having a checklist on what to look for when cleaning the bathroom. Because, that is so important. Little kids going there, health, hygiene. So you start with those little things because that's what builds trust. And having seasonal planning. You see, you have to know your seasons. You have to know local schools. When are they off? When are parents taking holidays? And so on. And you want to create clear workflows for your different processes, whether it's hiring, recruiting students, paying employees, and so on. You want to create a smooth studio formula. And you're like, okay, this is a lot, but this is a starting point, folks. What you want to do today is like, I need a system for these 5 things. Don't worry about how to create it. You can go into Gemini or Grok or ChatGPT and you can ask questions. And in the workshops that follow, we're going to show you how to do a lot of these things. So, AI is on your side. Use it. So when operations run smoothly, your studio stops feeling chaotic. You stop firefighting and you start leading. This is so important. If you have competition teams, this area defines whether you're the biggest source of pride or biggest source of pain. If your studio is not planning competitions or not part of local, county level, city level, state level, national competition programs, please start. Because this helps you create your curriculum and culture. What is the pride for a parent if they make it to a competition level at the state, right? So great competition programs have clear expectations. You can organize one yourself locally. You can get a bunch of dance studios together. And we are partnering with folks that are doing competitions at state and national level. and even international. So you want to have clear expectation, you want to have calendar alignment, you want to have parent communication, you want to have leadership expectations before you even accept a student into a competition. And you want to provide growth feedback loops. You should have a metric system or a rubric that is training the student so they can become competitive to do better. Because a competition in your studio and a student winning gives them the ability of inspiration to be competitive and win in other parts of their life. You're making survivors. A competition team should elevate your studio, not drain it. You see, it's the way you look at it. You can have a thought, oh my God, we have to handle competitions too. Or, oh my God, we are going to have a competition for 10 students at the end of the year with ballet with first, second, and third prize. We're going to issue certificates and you create that excitement. So, I'm big on competitions. And in one of our studios, competitions are organized where it's a source of community engagement. People like 300 people show up, and it's also a revenue opportunity. So if you do it right, this area is very simple, guys, but it's very powerful. Facility management. So one thing is about the usage of your own dance space for the different classes, so you can have a high level of concurrency and optimize growth for the class schedule that you have created. Your space shapes the emotion. I'm an emotion guy in everything. People a lot of times say, well, leave the emotion at the door. Heck no, we are human beings, for crying out loud. How the hell can we leave? I'm sorry. How can we leave our emotion at the door? Our emotion comes with us, it's part of us. So the way you shape the dance studio, the space, parents and dancers feel the environment. So how do you build facility excellence? You want to have some key tenets. This is what I tell my teams. First thing, safety. Second, professionalism. Simple things like sound from one class cannot be heard in the sound for another class. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. Just work towards it over time. It should be comfortable. It should give you the pride. And then, more importantly, your teachers and students should give them the pride. And it should create a positive culture. A great facility experience makes everything else easier. So if you want to look at your space before you're creating your class schedule and what you cannot do. And you need to have a communal presence. In every town, there is that studio that one person knows, trusts, and recommends. Community presence is not accidental, people. It's built through visibility, school connections, local leadership, partnership, your local city business sponsor. You should be part of that. You should partner with the local schools. Sponsoring a team gives you school visibility. You don't want to spend a ton of money on building community presence, but a few $100s a month is important. And then, of course, the biggest presence is built by reference. So you want to have good referral programs. So what I usually do is augment services in lieu of referrals. So in one program, we gave 2 months free of training on top of other specials we were doing. So if parents prepay for the whole year and we offer monthly installments and they commit, they pay for 10 months for a 12-month training of class, or 12-month worth of classes. And so they'll do 10 payments. But then if they bring in a referral, we give them 2 more months free. Guess what happens? Community builds automatically. So like I said, it's all in what you do, right? So, and then there is owner leadership. This is the largest part. Your studio will never outgrow the clarity and the skill of its leader or leaders. So you have to do leadership development, communication styles, how to make decisions, emotional intelligence, pattern matching, deep in empathy. What standards you have aligned with your vision and mission of your studio. So you have to develop those. When you transform, the entire studio transforms. And this is the area that happens maybe once a year, if that. Sending your teachers to conferences. Like I've met Mr. Steve at Dance Teacher Web. My God, their conference is so beautiful. I went to Las Vegas in June this year, June or July, whenever it was. It's like wonderful. It's like a recognition when you put people as part of the larger community. So you want to do lots of leadership. You want to do leadership skill building as you go through, growing your studio. And I really want you guys to focus on this. I want you to hear this. You can grow your studio without burning yourself out. I'm big on this. Out of the 104 events that are scheduled from now through end of next December, and I hope you guys join as many as you can. If you're not able to, you're going to have recordings available. Okay. So, but joining live is even fun. But I think about 20 of those workshops, if I'm not mistaken, are on owner wellness. Your wellness as a studio owner is not luxury, people. It is leadership. I say to myself all the time, there is that me time, whether it's going to the gym, taking a walk, meditating, sitting down and spending time on what is important to me. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I can spend all the time in different businesses or whatever. But if my health is not taken care of, if my mind is not taken care of, this pillar is very important. You have to create boundaries. You have to create good habits. You have to create a good time structure. I have a ton of customers. They can't just talk to me whenever they want. And my colleagues, they respect their time. I respect theirs. Time structure is very important. And your recovery. If you figure out, I've gotten so good at this that if I go through a conversation, let's say, where we are dealing with a very tough situation and it has depleted my energy and I can feel it, I know you guys can too, right? I will take a 15-minute break to recharge myself. If you ask my family or my colleagues, I would take a power nap for 10, 15 minutes to recharge myself. So, recovery. It happens in short bursts during the day, depending on how the day is going. And also the people you interact with. You want to create an environment that gives you energy, doesn't take energy away from you. That happens with mental clarity. You don't lead well when you're depleted. Where, human body is just like a battery. You're charged at 100%, you're performing. Guess when you're not charged? You're not going to lead well. A simple thing as a negative emotion expressed can tarnish your reputation forever. So, what you do is you lead well when you're restored. I've got a lot on this, and yours truly will share a lot of good information, and I hope you guys will as well when you chime in. So, in the workbook that I uploaded, I want you to go across all 14 areas in your own time and rate yourself across those 14 areas. You can score yourself in all 14 areas. You're not sharing that with anyone. It's for you, by you. You want to be honest. You want to be clear, and please be brave. The purpose of that assessment is not to judge yourself, but to understand where you are. More honest you are with yourself, the better off you will be. Because the way I think about awareness is it gives you power, it gives you choice, and it gives you control. Shall I say that again? Haha. Right? This is how I am, guys. Once you guys get to know me a little bit more, you'll find me brutally honest. Professionally, of course. I'm clear, and when I'm aware, that gives me power. And if something is not going right, it gives me choice to then control the outcomes that I want for the business. You see, once you know your score, then the next step is very simple, right? You want to come up with 3 growth priorities for 2026. And those don't have to be isolated people into one area. No. You don't want to isolate that in just one area. It can be revenue growth, systems, technology, staffing. So I think revenue growth will be definitely in every roadmap, every dance studio roadmap. And if you want some feedback, you're welcome to share your outcomes in the chat area in the circle. It's private. So I will be happy to help. We should help each other out, right? So you want to assign growth priorities to different quarters. This will eliminate the overwhelm, and it'll give you momentum. Let's create a year of wins, not wishful thinking. Because wishful thinking goes on, but now the point is your energy, I mean your energy, has to hit the pen or pencil on the paper. You want to write down your growth priorities. And you know what? You don't need a lot of time to think because you already know. As you listen to this, you already know. Just write it down, get it done. The first step is writing it down. And then put a recurring event in your calendar where once a week you meet with yourself. Or if you have partners, you can get together with your team that can help you with creation of this roadmap. But you want to think about it every week for 15 to 30 minutes. Put that calendar event on your and put a reminder. I've got a 24-hour reminder to this. What happens is the day before, oh, tomorrow I'm going to think about this, think about my roadmap. And I make sure I'm in positive energy, and then I go. So, we use this blueprint every day. We plan our seasons, we plan our year. This is not theory, folks. This is our operating system. Everything I'm showing you today, we do, and it works. Once you have clarity, you have structure, you have direction, and you have support. That's why Smart Studio Circle is here. 2026 can be your strongest year if you commit to the 14 pillars and take action one quarter at a time. Champions don't guess. You come up with certainty because you're confident in whatever you come up with will work, because you are relying on the universe out there to conspire to help you achieve the outcomes you come up with. If you're spiritual, then you're relying on the highest authority that brings us together. If you're an atheist, fine. You still then bring in the confidence from within and go. Don't drift. You're here because you're ready to design your next level. Let's build excellence together. Thank you. And I truly appreciate your time. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for choosing excellence. Your dancers deserve strong leaders. Your families deserve clarity. And you deserve a studio that runs with confidence, calm, and purpose. Welcome to the Smart Studio Circle year. Let's build your breakthrough year together. Thank you, everyone. And I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Take care, everyone. Cheers. Yes, Ken, please go ahead. Hi, Ken, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hi. I joined about 10 minutes into the presentation, and I did not get the link or whatever to the workbook that you.
So I'm uploading it in the chat for you. You can download it right here. And the other thing is you can, in the Smart Studio Circle event page, there'll be a recording of this because I shared a lot of content,
Gotcha.
plus this workbook. And I'm going to also have a playbook.
Okay.
I'm going to take some time to write that. It'll take me a few days. I think Thanksgiving project. And I'll provide you a playbook as well for all things we discussed today. So
Great. Sounds good. Well, I appreciate it. I enjoyed the presentation.
thank you, Ken. We appreciate you. Take care.
All right. You too. Thank you.
Bye. Others, any questions? All right. Have a wonderful holiday season. A great Thanksgiving, everybody, and God bless. Take care.